Hi, I'm Jennifer. This is Unearthed Relics, and today I am going to try my very first live stream. I got this idea just a little bit ago when, actually not too terribly long ago, when I found a really cool Indy 500 puzzle. And if you know me or you've been following me for a while, in addition to loving all things vintage, you will know that I also love all things jigsaw puzzles and puzzling in general. A couple of years back, I started event in my town called Puzzle Fest, and we just celebrated the 10th year. And every year we've grown and have teams of 4 competitors who race to put together the same jigsaw puzzle in the shortest period of time. In any case, I thought it would be fun today because I'm also a fan of the Indianapolis 500, which is taking place today. And based on the fact that I found this really cool Indy 500 puzzle when I was thrifting recently, that I would try to race the racers of the Indy 500 in putting together this 500-piece puzzle as they were doing the 500 miles to complete the race. There's been a little bit of a delay of start due to some weather moving through the Midwest here. So I'm just kind of hanging tight until they get started because I want to do it kind of live in real time with them as they are doing the race. So bear with me a little bit here as we get ready to go. But while I'm waiting for the race to start, I thought it would be kind of fun to show off some of the cool things that I have thrifted related to the Indy 500 over the years. So the first one is this really cool old program. This is from 1973. So it's kind of neat. It's got some other kind of like things that are stuck down in there. So old tickets, old stickers, the old postcard. I just love this. I found this not too terribly long ago, and I think that was a good find. Obviously, being near Indianapolis, I grew up in Indianapolis, and being able to go to the Goodwills and Goodwill outlets up in Indianapolis, I'm always able to find really cool and fun ephemera, vintage collectibles and whatnot. So very, very cool. And I thought that was a good find. I've also found on some different occasions, different Indy 500 glasses. These are really fun. These are from 1972. And I have another one, like a little smaller one, also from 1972. So a couple different ones like that. These are neat because they have all the drivers' names on the back. It's kind of hard to see with the light there, but that's kind of cool, I thought. This is a really neat thing too. This is a counter, a lap counter. And this was I think my husband's grandmother's. And it's kind of cool that it's old, definitely old, and obviously a practical little souvenir as well. I've also got a couple of these Indy 500. I've got one from 78 and one from 79 that actually still has the 7-Up in it. But these collector's bottles, so those are kind of fun. And I've got a copy of an old beer flag that's also from, this one's from 1976. I think they're getting started to do the Pledge of Allegiance and flag. So I'm going to pause for a minute and let them do that. And then we'll get started with some puzzle racing. All right. And I realized I probably should have planned this a little bit better. They're doing God Bless America now. They've had the invocation and the presenting of the colors. Um, yeah, I wanted to be able to start live with all of this. So I'll have to work out the timing in the future for sure, but definitely don't want to be talking over some of the more patriotic elements of things. So I'm going to let those kind of keep running. We're getting ready probably to do the national anthem, I would assume. And then once that starts, the drivers will take their position and get going on some puzzle racing along with the Indy 500 racing. And I'll try to provide some updates as the race goes too. So if you're watching along and this is your kind of mode of entertainment, or you're watching it alongside of the race itself, you'll be able to kind of keep tabs on what's going on. So that will be lots and lots of fun here in just a few minutes. Yeah, and now they are getting going on some more singing. I wish I had the ability to show some of the video of things happening, because it is really amazing. If you've never been to the 500 before, it is something to behold. It really is the greatest spectacle in racing. And you think it's going to be just a silly little race, and then you go and you realize it's this feeling and this incredible experience where you're with so many people. There's the excitement of it, the inherent risk and danger of racing vehicles that fast, that many, that fast, in a relatively small track. I mean, it's a large track, but for going that fast, obviously. There's a lot of risk inherent in that. So all of those things combine just to create a really incredible sense of excitement and just celebration as you get near the end and get to experience the victory and everything. That's really fun. A lot of really cool traditions and things like that. So yeah, I think all told, there's a lot to look forward to and a lot to experience. And if you've ever thought about going, it's definitely worth checking out at least once in your life, if not more. I have friends who go year after year after year, and it's the highlight of their year to be able to go and be a part of that event and experience it firsthand. So yeah, I think they'll be getting going here very, very shortly, and I will do the same. And then, yeah, I think it should be a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the fastest I've ever put together a 500-piece puzzle. It's definitely been a couple hours, so depending on the complexity of the puzzle itself, uh, I may or may not be competitive in racing along with them. I think it usually takes about 2.5 hours to complete the race. I could be way off on that. Okay, they're doing the pledge of, or the national anthem. So I'll pause for a moment while they do that. All right. I just switched to a different channel. I think the other kind of hindrance from a live stream perspective is that I usually listen to the race on the radio. So being in Indianapolis, growing up, when I'm not at the race, and sometimes even when I am, radio is like the primary way that you get to experience it. Oftentimes in Indianapolis, the race is blocked out on the local broadcast channels, and then shown again after in the evening. They kind of replay the whole race for the people in Indianapolis, I think, just to encourage people to go to the actual race as opposed to staying put at home and watching along that way. So in any case, growing up, it was always the radio that was the way that I listened to it. That being said, I would normally put on the radio and listen along with this, but because I'm streaming out, I didn't want to do that today. So was just trying to find some live streams I've watched that way in the past on YouTube. To kind of follow along with what's happening. And that tends to be a pretty decent way to kind of experience it live in real time if you're not able to catch that on the air where you live. Again, I think things are a little bit different now with streaming and everything else that happens. But it is the case that it is a little bit a little bit tricky to be able to watch the race if you're not attending the race, if you live in Indiana or definitely in the Indianapolis area. So yeah, I think they'll be getting started here shortly. Apologies for all of the kind of boring stuff at the beginning, but couldn't think of another way to be able to kind of get all the other kind of racing elements going really, really quickly, and wanted to, again, be able to do that kind of in real time. So it was fun. So bear with me for a little bit longer. Since you have been so patient and kind, if you have been watching this, obviously I would hope that if you're coming at a later point in time, once this is wrapped up, you'd be able to just kind of skip through till the very end of this kind of intro segment into the fun racing part and maybe kind of fast forward through that to kind of watch that process. Hopefully it will be engaging. I think it's fun to watch puzzle racing. That was one of the reasons why I had created our Puzzle Fest event a little while ago. And yeah, it's kind of neat to see how it all kind of comes together. I'll also I have a timer too, so you can kind of follow along with the timer that I'm using. And the other thing I did that I thought was kind of fun, I took the lineup for today's racers, and it's by row, so it's 3 per row and 11 rows, and that makes up the 33 driver field for the race. And I'm going to put a puzzle piece on each of these. So I'll kind of have my own little race here going for my local puzzle pieces, 500 puzzle piece race here. So we'll see which ones I kind of put into the puzzle first, find the matches for first. But I thought that would be kind of fun. I often do that where I'll put kind of pieces off to the side and try to, like they're special enough. You're kind of like, oh gosh, that's got to go somewhere really precise and everything. I'm going to do it kind of randomly today, kind of just put random puzzle pieces on there just to make it go really fast. I'm not eating up a lot of time picking out specials. But it is kind of fun, like when you get one that you've been waiting to place for a while and you're able to do that. That's really awesome. So I'll put that there so you can kind of see that for a second. So yeah, I've just got the field of racers. I've got their car number, the driver's name, and then the team name and type of car. So I'll be keeping track on that. And then I guess really quickly while they're getting going here, I'll go ahead and show a little bit more. This is from 1991. This was the 75th running of the 500, and it's got a lot of the old program covers on it. It looks like it's actually signed. I couldn't tell exactly. It's Al somebody who signed it, and I wasn't entirely sure who that was, but presumably somebody associated with the race, maybe somebody present on one of the, maybe Al Unser? It could be Unser. It could be. In any case, signed, kind of cool. That was a good find for sure. All right, now they've got A-Rod. I think he may be doing the start your engines kind of bit. Get this. All right. All right. I'm going to go get a pen so I can write down some stuff too while we're going. And if you are having fun, just hang tight for a little bit longer. There'll be some good puzzling action happening very, very shortly. I also found some flags, although not the highest quality flags on a recent trip, along with the puzzle. So I felt like that was kind of fortuitous. So we'll use these to start our race here in just a minute. So I'll also show off the puzzle a little bit more. Again, this is 500 pieces, so that part was perfect too. It is, I don't know what brand this was actually. That's a really good question. It looks like maybe it was sold at the 500 Speedway. It's got the little logo on there. It doesn't say who made this. In any case, when I was kind of looking online to show somebody what the puzzle looked like, I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if they don't sell it anymore or it was limited edition or something like that. So now they're doing Back Home Again in Indiana. So that'll be kind of fun. I don't know who's singing it this year. It used to always be Jim Neighbors who did that one, which was kind of fun, like a fun tradition. Let's see. It is a person. It is a male. I cannot tell. All right, I'm going to switch out my stream here. All right. I'm trying to find the ones where they have like commentators and things. Those are kind of interesting to watch. So like kind of just on air people. Let's see if I can find a few of those. If you've got some recommendations, feel free to share those. Let's see. I'm going to go by maybe, looks like it's being broadcast on Fox today. And this one has a decent number. So yep, everybody's showing the same thing. So still finishing up Back Home Again in Indiana. Looks like they've got the cars out on the track. I can actually put that there. I don't think that's too cheaty. There definitely are a lot of streams. I don't know, sometimes they cut off when the race starts. They're doing the flyover right now, which is always one of my favorite things to experience. Definitely makes you feel patriotic when you experience something like that. just really up close, the sound of it coming and just how quickly they fly over and how close they get down to the track is always really amazing as well. So let's see. Okay, so we got the back home again in Indiana. It's looking a little bit overcast at the track. I know that they had the rain delay, and I think they had some drying. They have like giant dryers that go around to try to dry the track to make it safe for driving. So I think there's hope that there will be. Yeah, I think that they are thinking that they're going to get going again. The crews out there have umbrellas up over the dryers, like that's kind of interesting. So it's always tricky. I've been to some races before that have gotten canceled due to rain, like literally like all the effort to get down to the track, which isn't always an easy thing. Early to fight through the traffic, to find parking, to deal with all of that. And then the the rain comes or the storm comes. One year there was actually, I think, a tornado that kind of came through or came pretty close to the race. So it was pretty bad weather, and they had to evacuate. And I feel like there were maybe 2 rain delays on that one, and they ended up running the race. I'm probably remembering this really wrong, but on maybe it was even Tuesday. So it was like they had never run the race on that different day. And they, at that point, I think they just opened it up and allowed anybody to come in. So yeah, it's May in Indiana, and sometimes the rain comes and you just kind of have to go with it. Sometimes it's like 95 degrees and not a cloud in the sky, and sometimes there's rain. I'm curious if there was ever snow. Maybe, I don't know. I guess it's possible. But yeah, it looks like they are still kind of dealing with some rain. So they've got the umbrellas over the drivers, and I don't know if that's maybe just trying to keep some sun down on them, because it gets really hot. They're all suited up and with the helmets and everything else. I'm sure that that's got to be really, really hot. But it's a really colorful look. Like, I mean, I don't know if you want to, like, if you can zoom in and see like the picture I've got there. Yeah, like it's pretty impressive. Like, these are amazing, amazing machines. It's fun to visit the museum, or if you ever fly into Indianapolis, oftentimes we have old vintage race cars that are in our airport. And just to see the way that they've changed over time is really cool too. But they're basically like jet engines on wheels. They are incredibly fast. They are also incredibly loud. I feel like you really, really need to have ear protection if you go now. I feel like that's kind of increased over time, that it's just gotten louder and louder and louder as the cars have gotten faster and faster and evolved. But yeah, it's looking really good on the track. It's a lot of people in the stands, so it looks like they're getting ready for that. It looks like they might even be getting some of the people. Oh, nope, just kidding. I was going to say getting some of the crew members off the track, which is a good sign that they're going to get ready to start things. So yeah, they should be getting started here pretty shortly. Thanks for bearing with me as I try to kill some time. Let me go ahead. I'm going to show off this banner again, because I did that kind of early, or I did it earlier, but did it kind of quickly because they were getting started on some of the kind of lead up things that I didn't want to be talking over if you were watching the race as well. But this was a really cool banner, and this was from 1976. So obviously there's been a lot of people since then that have participated, but I've never heard of Kessler. It says smooth as silk, so I don't know if that's a beer or a liquor of some sort. It looks like maybe liquor. Yep, blended whiskey. Never heard of Kessler blended whiskey. In any case, what a fun kind of souvenir type thing. This is almost 50 years old. I was excited to find that. I think that would look cool, like hanging up like on a den kind of window or something like that. So yeah, that's kind of fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead, just in the spirit of things, I'm going to go ahead and start working on setting up my pieces right side up. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer on that because that's not really racing. I won't start to actually assemble until they start the race. How about that? So we're kind of using the time wisely. I'm going to start adding pieces to the document here. I'm going to try not to put any I could be making this harder on myself. I don't know. The other thing with a thrifted puzzle is you never know if it's going to have all of the pieces. So that's one of the things that makes it a little bit trickier. And, you just never know if it's going to have them all. I am hopeful that this one, that's an edge piece there. Lots of face pictures. That is another edge. I'm trying to note those. There we go. Here's another crowd picture there. Oh, that's a good one. I am picking these a little bit, but trying not to be too tricky here. And they are talking about the fact that the Speedway is a little bit edgy this year, so are things that are feeling a little bit on edge, and so drivers that are a little bit more adept at dealing with that are a little bit advantaged. So there we go. And I'm just going to go with that one. Okay, so that's my lineup of pieces, and I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm going to move this over to the side here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and, again, I'm just going to turn over pieces and sort them, which technically is part of it. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer for that, just because I think that in terms of like just kind of timing yourself for putting together a puzzle, that seems kind of fair for that. But I'll still wait and start the actual puzzle assembly, once we get the race started. So I'm going to go ahead and start my start and do a little bit of sorting. I know some people do the edge first, or the kind of border of the puzzle, and I am more of a fan of doing the kind of getting going on the inside of things. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it for sure. So there's some puzzles. Get my balloons up over here. I'm going to tilt this up a little bit so I can kind of come back here. Still kind of learning the puzzle here. I'm trying to get the pieces sorted into places that are kind of near where they will be on the eventual puzzle. Some more of these faces down here. So there's lots and lots of audience things in this one. There's a lot of things, I think, with puzzles that you can kind of tell, like, that will make them a little bit easier, a little bit hard. I guess it's still light sprinkling at the race. So, yep. They are out there on the track and still not able to start because of weather, which is frustrating. I mean, it's got to be frustrating to the people, certainly frustrating to the fans. All right, I'm not going to put that together because I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Let's see. Okay, that's that. I kind of, this is helpful actually for learning learning it a little bit too as I go. I don't have my glasses on today, so that's going to make it a little bit trickier. I might have to run and get that. So apparently there is one driver who is in position to potentially be the first person to win 3 times in a row. So that would be kind of exciting. All right, I don't know where this one is. Let's see, where is this one? I think it's the edge of this building. So they just noted that it was the 54th year that one of the Andrettis has competed in the race. So that was kind of exciting. When I was putting together the list of folks earlier, I kind of noted that that there was an Andretti in the race. I didn't realize it had been consecutive, but it's definitely one of those names. If you have grown up around the race, you are familiar with for sure. So I think getting the head start on sorting the puzzle was a good call. Gonna say that was definitely a good call for sure. It is a lot to. Oh, there is a person here, and I can't tell where this one is. That would be a good. Oh, I see where we go. All right. Get some more balloons. So they're saying that after Mario Andretti won back in the 60s, there's never been another Andretti to win. So that's kind of exciting. There's the 500. Oh, geez. You know, you don't think that 500 pieces is a whole lot until you start turning over all the pieces. And then you kind of realize that it is a lot of pieces. It's a whole lot of pieces. So, and especially when you've got a lot of the light blue and sky. Sky is a tough one. For our first Puzzle Fest year, we had a puzzle, and it was a picture of our downtown square, and it was like almost all sky, and it took forever to put that puzzle together, and not because the teams weren't skilled. They were absolutely really, really good. It is just the case that it takes a really, really long time to put together a puzzle that has a lot of sky or a lot of anything that isn't all the same, or that is all the same rather, as opposed to being well differentiated. So yeah, this is one of these cars. So there's all kinds of special rules for when there are things like rain and that kind of thing. It always makes it a little bit interesting. It also changes up the dynamic a little bit because there's different strategies that come into play when they're running, under a caution flag or not able to run it kind of like regular. So that's kind of interesting sometimes. I think it's sad when they kind of get into a situation where they have to kind of use that kind of, gaming the system kind of thing. And I know that a lot of the rules are designed to keep it really fair so that people don't take advantage of those kind of unfortunate situations, especially if there's been a crash or something like that. That being said, like when they decide to pit, if there's a caution flag out, yeah, it'll be really, really interesting to see kind of how all things pan out with today's race. And I mean, I guess there's only one way to see, right? Like you just kind of get into it and you watch it and you see how it goes. So I still have a huge, you can't even see the whole pile over here, but still a lot of pieces that I've got to get pieced up here. Let me get that. So there's a wave happening at the stadium. That's pretty cool. I think it's a 2.5-mile track, if I'm remembering correctly. So if you can imagine a giant wave going around for 2.5 miles, it's pretty impressive. So I know that probably people are getting a little bit antsy. It's definitely like this close to start. You just want it to get going. You want to see what happens, especially since they've done some of the other kind of pomp and circumstance associated with the start of the race. Get the still a weather delay. Let me get this. There's still, you can kind of, I'll move my pile up here too, so you can kind of see it I found a lot of the, I think that's that, um, what looks to be, I don't know where that one is. First corner piece that I've found there. I also have a little bit of beer going. This is official Indy 500 beer, of course. I stopped with my sister up in Indianapolis yesterday and was able to get that. They probably have that down here where I am as well, but better get the official stuff, right? Okay, that's up here. These would be, as part of this little pagoda building. I love the little clips that they have of, like the kind of get people pumped up and everything. That's a lot of fun. Put this up here. I don't know if I feel like I've seen enough of the numbers here to, or the edge pieces to know that it's a great piece. This would have been a good one to put on over on my special thing over here. I don't know where the little flag is. Where are you, flag? Up atop this building. Okay. So they are still drying the track right now. Of course, let's get it good and safe for everybody. And then they'll get going and I'll get going. Maybe I'll have this ready. Now I kind of feel like I want them to wait a little bit longer. So I have all of this kind of pre-sorted. That's definitely going to help me here in a minute as I yeah, they're just talking about the waiting and everything. It is hard. Like you're ready to go and you want to start. I know it's also the case, like there's a lot of, these are tough people mentally. Like like it is a grueling, physically demanding experience to be sure. And yeah, like they've just got to really visualize what's happening and all of that. So yeah. I will also apologize in advance. I'm listening to the race while kind of talking at the same time. So as people are talking, I'm kind of listening and talking at the same time. And that's not a skill I would say that I have mastered. So if I say something really strange or bizarre, let's just chalk it up to the fact that maybe I'm hearing something that's like my brain's paying more attention to in that moment. I don't know. In any case, it does seem like they're starting. They're saying moments. So we will see if that's really the case. And then we'll have some fun puzzle racing, hopefully happening here as well. $500. What's that one? I think it's Tom Brady driving the pace car is what they're saying. I have to listen to that. I think that would be the most fun thing to do. I have gotten to drive or ride in pace cars. Like they make multiples of them and then they get loaned out to people. So I have gotten to experience that before. And they've got to be cars that are capable of, getting up to a pretty high speed. So, all right. It's going to be a lot more fun, I think, when the puzzle starts to shake shape. I realize in doing this, I have crowded up my table with all kinds of other things. So I have done myself a little bit of a disservice. Let me put this up here. So if you're keeping track, I guess probably if you scroll across, you will know as well that I have been doing this for about 20 minutes at this point. So, and we'll see if will get the race started here shortly. I think the ones I'm going to end up putting together first from here are the faces. Those seem like they're going to be the easiest thing to put together. I could be wrong, but it feels like that one's going to be I think putting together like the band and maybe the trophy, although the trophy looks like it could be relatively complex. Again, here I'll put this in the middle so you can kind of see what I'm working toward. This is the puzzle that I am assembling. And I should also note that I am working upside down, which makes it doubly interesting and fun. Found another edge piece. So that's kind of exciting. Found my third edge piece. I'm going to put that up in that corner. They were just saying that they qualified with speeds exceeding 230 miles an hour this year. That's amazing. I feel like the last time I've been, it was like in the 220s, but I mean, I guess what's 220? Like when you're up over 200 miles an hour. Really, when you yeah, I won't admit that I've gone faster than 100 miles an hour. That seems like a bad thing to do, but um, even half of 220 miles an hour is a whole lot of fast to contend with. So, um, yeah, the other thing about racing that you don't really think, it's not just driving, skillfully. It's a whole lot of mechanical things, like figuring out the right mix of things because you're traveling at such high velocities. You need to have the ability to keep your tires gripping the track well. And yeah. Oh, finally found the brickyard here. That was my first brick piece. I'm going to put that there. It's kind of a good one. Oh, I can't believe they're still making them wait. I feel bad for the poor people having to hold the umbrellas too for them. It's got to be really tiring just to stand there with a umbrella for that period of time. So this guy is this one. Okay. Oh, I wonder if anybody's doing two races. Like that's always really interesting when people try to get in two races and then they airlift from one race to another. And obviously the weather delays either help or hinder their ability to do that. So they'll usually make a big deal about that. And if anybody's trying to do that, I'll keep people posted on that front too. Yeah, so somebody's racing in Charlotte today as well, I guess. So I think another thing that's going to be hard in today's puzzle is the audience, the crowd here. There's a little bit more brick. Get that together. Okay. I am just about ready. So hopefully they will be getting ready to go here and then we can just start the fun part, which is putting the puzzle together. Probably feels a little bit like watching paint dry to watch somebody sort puzzle pieces. And I'm not doing it particularly quickly right now because obviously there's not a whole lot to do once I do get that done. They're doing a really good job, I have to say. You can tell that these are true broadcasting professionals. They have a whole lot more to say than I've managed to come up with in terms of stalling kinds of moves and whatnot. So oh, they're doing a great job. I am entertained watching. If you like, once this gets going, if I figured this would be kind of a fun thing. Like I always get bored watching cars just go around and around and around. Although, again, it's really exciting to be in the space and experience it because it's loud, it's exciting. It just isn't the same watching on TV or watching a live stream. It feels very, very different. Still cool, but different to be there and live and experiencing it that way. In any case, yeah, but it does kind of get old to just keep going and going and going and going. So I'm kind of excited about presenting something else to kind of take in and experience while you're doing some racing today. So yeah. There we go. Okay. This is gonna stay here. Oh, they say they're starting any minute. I'm feeling good about this. I've got things in a good place to kind of put together. I have not left myself a lot of room to work, but like that's okay. I can cope with that. I'm going to be excited just to kind of get going and get into the fun part of things. I've got some other little rando pieces down here. We're just going to leave those. I think we're good. I think I'm good. I'm going to work on getting some things kind of move some pieces up and over. All right, I feel like I've got a little bit of a space here that I can work with. It's not perfect, but that'll be good. All right. I think I might take a pit stop. And I made a sign. It's not the cutest, most awesomest sign. I did make a pit stop sign. Should have used that earlier when I was pausing. I'll add my little pit stop here. I'm going to use the restroom, and I think because they are getting ready to get going, and that way I won't have to take a break while we are like puzzle racing. So give me a break here. I don't think I can pause this. Obviously, it's a live stream. I want to keep it going. And yeah, we'll be back in just a second with hopefully some puzzle racing. And it might be a very quick bathroom break if they get started sooner rather than later. So we will see. So back here, hit pause on your end, fast forward if you're watching or recording. And yeah, we'll get going on the puzzle in just a second. All right. I am back. Oops, gotta get this back in so you can hear what's going on. Let me see if I think I lost my stream. All right. Sorry, I was trying to get close to the thing here. Again, with how class is on, I can't see little things. It actually looks like there's people watching. I don't know if that's just me logged in, maybe my husband upstairs. If you are watching, hope you're enjoying it. Also, because I am not quite to 1,000 subscribers yet, I'm limited to only 25 live streamers. So, yeah. If you are one of the lucky 25 people who gets to watch along today as a fun kind of way to interact as I am racing along with the car racers today at the Indy 500. Enjoy. Maybe pop in, pop out. So if we get up to 25, that is a good problem to have for sure. So I think, let's see, I'm looking at um, it, it looks like they're getting ready to start actually. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my pit stop sign. So it's Roger Penske. He is thanking the fans for attending, the people at the raceway, as well as those of us engaged throughout the world. So just to recap, I've spent about 30 minutes sorting puzzles. And I've also got the list over here of the different cars. So these are going to be kind of my own little special race. He's driver start your engine. So I'm gonna do this because I can't get started at the same time as doing that. They're gonna actually, well, I take it back. We've got to get the laps going with the pace car. So I've got a little more time to kill, I guess, as they get going on the first couple laps. Together with the pace car to get them up to speed. If you've watched the race before, you kind of know one of the cool things that they do is start to try to warm their tires up a little bit, test the track a little bit. And it is Tom Brady who seems to be driving the pace car this year. They are talking to him while he is driving really fast, and then it's kind of scary. Like, I feel like you've got to really kind of pay attention. So, oops. Wait a second. He's not in the pace car. I don't know. He's driving something. Oh, maybe. It is the pace lap. Ah, they are dedicating the pace lap to the 250th birthday of the Army. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of a neat thing that they're doing this year. So I love that. They've got a helicopter flying around with it. That's kind of cool. That's kind of different. A couple helicopters, it looks like. So, wow. And that's got to be something that takes a lot of skill too, to be that close down to the cars um, and all the spectators that are there. That's, yeah, wow. Well, it's awesome to actually see the cars moving a little bit at this point after a whole lot of just kind of sitting there, and see if they're getting going any faster. That is kind of a fun thing, again, being there and watching them as they kind of get up to speed, waiting for the pace car to pull off. It's really exciting. And just the anticipation, you've got a lot of people, they've all had time to get there, even if they were running a little bit late or hit some snags on the way in. So I would assume that there's pretty good attendance today. And now that the rain's moved on, like, it should be actually a really nice day for a race if they can get it in before we get more rain coming through. So hopefully that's the case. And yeah, Let's see. Kind of showing a high view of things now. They're getting going pretty fast. They are moving and grooving, getting those tires warmed up. I always think of it like little kids doing their pee-pee dance a little bit, just like, "Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go." But there is certainly strategy to it. It's also just amazing that they're I mean, like, they don't look like they're moving that fast when they're still behind the pace car, but they are moving incredibly fast, and that they're still, like, moving around, and they're saying it's the first time that it's been full in 9 years, so obviously things were a little bit strange during the COVID years. Um, all right, I think they're just about ready. It makes me nervous when they're talking to the people in the cars, like the pace cars and whatnot, because they've gotta concentrate. Like, they're up to 105. So again, not nothing. They're pretty tight turns, so they're getting them up there, but definitely it gets really exciting here in just a minute as they get going, going, going. And then we'll get going, going, going on doing some different puzzle pieces here as well. So I'm excited. I wish that there was a way I could figure out to kind of show and not feel like I'm going to get pulled offline or in trouble for sharing things, because it is really fun. So definitely open up another stream or kind of follow along or listen along on the radio. I think that's good background. I'll do a little bit of talking as we go, just because it'll probably just puzzle strategy, some race updates. There's a lot going on. They're ready to go here. I think, like, look and see what kind of flags we get coming out. It looks like everything's looking safe and good. They're feeling like it's dry enough, safe enough to get some race going, so that's good. Oh, no. Somebody just crashed. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, that's gotta be the worst feeling in the world. I don't know who that is. Who are they saying this is? Oh, that's really sad. They are oh, ooh, oh. So Scott Dixon's on fire, it sounds like. So I don't know if they connected. Let's see. Scott Dixon was row 2, so car 9, and I don't know who the other one was here. Yeah, but you can actually see the fire in this car. It's crazy. Oh, that's really sad. You go through so much just to qualify. There's so many contenders trying to be in this race, and that's so sad. Well, I'm sure that they'll show some more replays and kind of show what happened here. Oh yeah, it says McLaughlin was the other on yeah, so car number 3, Scott McLaughlin was the other one. I'm gonna mark that out. That's our first one. They're thinking they can keep Scott Dixon in, so that's, I guess, good for him. Oh yeah, he hit a wall. So again, that kind of the swerving and, just came a little bit too cold in. Oh, that's sad. I don't think that they've actually started. I don't know how that works if they've got a yellow that they've gotta clean up this kind of mess. That's yeah, that's a bummer. All right. While they figure that out, I'm gonna get some actual glasses going here too, so I can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna pit stop us really quickly again here. I will be right back with some glasses on. That'll make the whole thing a little bit easier. Kind of feels appropriate, like, somebody kind of overshooting and whatnot. We'll get a little bit of corrective lens work going here so we can see what we're doing and hopefully get it done. All right, so this one's really confusing. I don't even know. So they've started the lap count. They have not officially started the race. So this one's a new one for me. And just because I'm bored and want to get started, and we were all laid out here, I'm going to go ahead and get going because that'll be more fun to watch. So let's go ahead and start the race. So I feel bad for Scott here. I'm wondering if maybe if he can be the first one that I place, so he can be the winner of my Indy 500, even though sadly he is not going to be today's winner of the actual 500. So let's see if we can figure out where that one goes. I think I found it. I found a piece for that. There we go. So that one's a win. Okay, so now technically they're getting ready to start, even though they've already started. This is bizarre, but you know, there's always something. There's always something that makes it a little bit interesting for sure. So, and it looks like they're starting. Yay. Technically that's a green flag. I don't have one of those, so I've just got my checkered ones. We'll use those generously today. Oh, geez, they crashed again. So we're going to say maybe today's going to be a rough day for the 500. It's probably a lot due to the just the coldness of it, like the coldness of the road. Nobody's really used to that, especially in May. Like that's not a typical thing. Yikes. Who is that one? Let's see. Oh, Andretti. So, yep, Andretti is definitely out. That is super sad. There we go. These are really similar. They're talking to Scott McLaughlin. He's super, super sad, obviously, understandably. Yeah, that's got to be rough to be that upset and then pulled out to have to give a statement and know that it's, you know, a mistake that you didn't want to make for sure. Oh, that's so sad. All right, I'm going to pull another piece. My second person here is going to be Scott Dixon. That's ironic given that those were the two that were in the thing, but I'm going to go ahead and pull that one over because I got the drum piece here. I think I had said I was going to do the faces first. I did not, but let's get into it because I think it's time. Let's get some faces going here. They're saying it's the lowest track temp. Ugh. In a long time. Not ever, but in a long time. So that's going to make for some more challenges for sure. Okay, I think that's that one. I'm going to take my next one out. So this one is going to be Kiffin Simpson. I don't know if I get that one right, but let me get that one. And then Alex Palou. It sounds like they're actually racing, so this is exciting. I'm gonna get some more of these going pretty fast. So 77, this is my Stingray Rob, and I think I'm at 5 over off of this page. And Ed Carpenter will be 6. There we go. There we go. All right. So that's a good, I feel like I should just kind of keep going on the trophy here. Like that's one of the okay. Oh, there's like a little guy hanging out over here. Hello. They're talking about the fact that some people have never raced on an oval track before. I guess the Indy style are sometimes a little bit more elaborate tracks or more Grand Prix style. So yeah, they're trying to figure it out, they're saying. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one off the thing. This one's Marcus Erickson, And I think I'm up to number, looks like 7. So yay. Oh yeah, so whoever is leaving to go to their next race, they were trying to do this one first. So this is one of those cases where the delay did not work to their advantage because that obviously cuts into their ability to get to that next race. So 600 miles more if they end up making that. So I guess some of it depends on how well they're doing in this race and, if they want to take that, better chance at the next thing, or if they've gotten out of this race, moving on to the next one. So yeah, let's see, that's over here. Words are always a little bit easier too. So I'm going to see if I can't get some of these going here while I think what's going to happen with this one is it will be, I'll get all the easy stuff done and then I'll have to hunker down and yeah, I have to get all the easy stuff down and then circle back around to do the harder stuff here in a little bit. But it looks like this was from 2 years ago. This was the 107th running. So that would have been 2 years ago that this puzzle was made. I like it. It's a good puzzle. It's got a lot of different elements that are kind of fun to look at. And I've been enjoying it so far. So I did not see this one for sale or online when I was searching for puzzles. So, I think I've got some more. I've got some other winners over here. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull this one next. So this one is Christian Lundgaard, and that's going to be my 8th place finisher. So we're going to add this one right there to finish that on out. And then I'm also going to pull this one. So Rinus Vike. All right. And then that one is my number 9. I'm cranking through these, finding lots of good matches with these things. In fact, I think I've got to see a couple of places, but I'm going to wait until I get a few more pieces in place before I pull those. So yeah, so that one looks good. I'm going to actually come around the corner here for a second and you'll see my hands, but not see me for a second. There we go. And I'm going to keep working on this. So get my cover up here and I'm going to turn it so that it's kind of in the direction that I am putting the puzzle together. So I can kind of do a little bit of work on this part. I'll put those up above in a second. So this was 2023. That's cool. Put this one up here. Well, I guess you can kind of still see me over on the thing here. Oops, that's not it. Oh. And let's see. I guess this is over in the building over here. Oh no, they've got more rain. I really thought they were going to be able to get this in without the rain. That is the worst. Like, ugh. Um, you feel bad too, because so many people have traveled in from out of town, and you've got other plans. We saw people out and about shopping yesterday when we were shopping, and yeah, like it's not the way you want to be spending a day of time while you're on vacation. But it is what it is, isn't it? So, and definitely better, obviously, seeing the crashes that have taken place so far, better that they play it safe, right? Yeah, they're being a little bit more cautious on keeping tires warmed up, it sounds like, which makes perfect sense because that was pretty sad to lose a couple people. I'm going to go ahead and call Takuma Sato is my number 10. I'm going to pull this one on over into the blimp image here. And this is one of my, it looks like, let's see, this looks like it's going to be up at the top of the thing over here. So that's exciting. And then I got this other. Get that there. It's going to definitely be harder once I get all the text out of the way here. But, got to do what you got to do, right? Looks like that kind of comes up here. So this is right above this. Where's my flag here? Oh, that's up top. Oh, that's why there's so much green. I hadn't even noticed that there was a whole green flag over here. All right. Put that down there. Oh boy. I'm going to pull this one off and we'll say this is 11. This is Kyle Larson. I don't know why I hadn't noticed that one earlier, but yay. Okay. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and get my Borg Warner trophy piece off of this one. So let's go Jack Harvey. And that's going to be number 12. We're racing through here. Like I'm halfway through my specials over here, although I've got some that'll definitely be harder to put into place. I should have probably made it the opposite way. Like the final one is the one that is the bigger winner, but yeah, so it is. So there we go. All right, I might start trying to put together some of the, oh, I think that must be this. I'm going to put this here. I don't feel like that really counts like being a part of thing, but just to give it a place to kind of park itself for a smidge, although that's going to go right above this here. And I'm going to actually, yeah, let's go ahead and place it. So that one, what am I up to? Is that 12, 13? There we go. This was Nolan Siegel, car number 6. All right, here we go. I'm going to come around and I got some airplanes up here. Uh-oh. Sounds like, oh, it was a close call in pit lane here. So it doesn't sound like they had another crash. So that's good. Oh, there we go. And where are these people? I think these must be over here. I definitely don't feel like I've seen enough edge pieces, but that being said, I think I've been definitely, there's definitely some different spots where those are hidden. I didn't really try to separate those out. So they're kind of just on in the mix with everything else. All right, I'm missing my 500 thingy. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'm trying to think. This is up above. So there are a couple people who still haven't pitted, it sounds like. So that'll be interesting. I feel like now is where you start to get into the interesting stuff with the different strategies for who's going to stop when, and yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. It's always interesting. I got these guys up in here, but there's really not a whole lot going on in there. Oops. I think that's probably part of this car. And that's definitely part of a car. It's funny. I guess that I'm finally getting around to doing the car part of things. It's funny that it's a race about the Indy 500, and that's like the last little bits and pieces and things that I'm pulling out up here. So, well, not the last, but of the easy pieces. The last of the easies. Let's see. That's a car part. We'll get some cars. Okay, so let's see. This one is behind there. Looks like that's here. And they're talking a little bit about some of the strategy stuff, which is also really interesting too, like the different team members and how they're able to help each other through different things. So that keeps it really interesting too. Let's see, I've got this is kind of cool. I just noticed this has got like a little phantom race car, like an old style phantom race car. I think so far that's my favorite part of this puzzle. I don't know if you can see. I'll hold that one up there. I don't know. Maybe when I'm done, I'll point that one out. So that one's kind of a cool little piece. Here's a piece of that one. Get some pieces over here. They got little pieces of the golf course down here, so that's kind of fun. Oh, I'm going to take this one. So this one is Felix Rosenquist. I'm gonna put that there. I think that's there. So that, what am I up to? 14. Doing pretty good on those pieces. I feel like I need to get back over to some pagoda action, maybe. All right, if I'm a betting person, I'm saying I'm probably not going to get this done faster than them, but you never know. Like the more pieces you put up, the easier it gets. So I guess I kind of try to remind myself of that. Like you get to this stage and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get it done. And then the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you do it. And it just keeps getting easier and easier as you place more and more stuff into the thing. That's not one. Like that's probably like that. These are more trophies. Oh, this trophy. I thought this was building. It kind of has like a little bit of a different look to it. Did I drop my first piece? Uh-oh. Okay. So a little bit later when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm missing a piece. I'm pretty sure I dropped it, but I'm going to have to get all the way down on the ground to figure out where that went. So we're going to let that be for a little bit. I'll put these guys over here. Some of these here. Let's see if we can't get some of this. Wow, some people have pit twice and some people haven't pit at all yet. So it's always just really, really interesting to see kind of what's going on there. So we'll see how that all works out for everybody. Oh, let's see. can't really see what's going on down here, but I'm getting some pieces of the trophy down here. Wish there was like one place that it was perfect to just have everything, but it is a challenging thing to find a spot that kind of works for everything and have the camera up high enough but still be able to see. So it is kind of what it is. I do need to kind of start working and trying to get a little bit more kind of spread out around here. I think. Feels like that should go there, but it doesn't. Oops, maybe that's this piece. Nope. I think that's. Okay, I've got to be missing some more gray pieces. I guess this is probably the point where I would acknowledge that it's still entirely possible that I do not have all the pieces of this puzzle. I hope that that is not the case. But it is always a possibility when working with a thrifted puzzle. I'm going to hold out hope that that is not the case this time around because that would be really sad. But, you know, things happen. Okay, this building's coming together here nicely. I need to pull this over because this looks like it's maybe coming down into here. Oops, I get some more pieces here. I feel like I should see this piece here. There we go. That was pretty worthwhile. That's this one, yep. Just changing directions there. Oh, yeah, this is good. That is not it. So I will say, as much as I like the visuals on this puzzle, it is not the highest quality in terms of the interlockingness of it. Let's see. Let me get another live stream going because it looks like the one I was watching has just went kaput. Okay, pick the same one, still kaput. There we go. Anyway, what I was going to say too is just, yeah, the quality of puzzles matters a whole lot, right? Like, so the one that I'm working on right now, beautiful image. The puzzle pieces don't interlock super well, so it makes it a little bit more challenging, to be sure. But we're going to keep going, and I think we will try not to let that mess things up for us too much here. Look at this. I know there's people who do puzzles without, oh, that's quite a bit above his head. Let's see. This really is kind of down in here. I'm wondering if just maybe feels like this has got to get over into here. Let's pull this up here. Put that over there. Okay, I might actually have to switch and listen to the radio. They keep pulling down. So they're at long last, they're getting on people's cases for not violating copyright. So like the live streams and things that are available online. Again, which is kind of frustrating given that they don't give you a whole lot of options. I realize that is not the right piece there. If you were in Indiana, even if it's a sellout, and I thought that was always the case, that they were supposed to let you watch if the race was a sellout, but maybe that is not the case. So it is what it is. Let's see what we got here. Get back into... All right. Oh, this is good. Oh, I love when this happens, like when you have a big piece that you're able to put together. Again, this one is a little bit tricky because you can't really move it super easy, but ugh. Okay, there we go. Oh, that made like a really big chunk there. That's great. All right. So this is starting to look a little puzzly over here in the corner up here. Yeah. I'm going to keep coming back over here. Get that there. Oh, that's looking good too. gonna get down to sky here. Ugh, sky. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Oh, I just realized this is a little thing of milk. How cute is that? So that's kind of down here at the bottom, and that's adorable. I'll get these guys over here. Like this is kind of on the edge of this, so yep. And my little racing van. Oops. That's right there. Okay, this is looking good. This is the hat over here. And try to get the bottom done, and then we'll just focus on the top stuff. So how about that? That's another piece of the milk. That's that. Oh, we're almost to the point where, yep, that little guy's going to go there. This is the little shout out to the golf course down here. So that's great. One whole corner done. So you can see that. And I know one of the things that's really interesting is like some people will try to do puzzles based on the images, and some people are fans of the shapes of the puzzle. And I'm trying to do a little bit of both today, given the shapes, their time in the sun here, but then also seeking to use the image as much as possible to help me figure out what's what. Where did those go? To figure that out, I'm going to make a spot for myself here. Come on in here. All right. I'm going to get these cars down in here. These aren't too far up from this, and it looks like this one is the one in front, far above the guy in truck. Oh, it's so frustrating that they don't. There we go. That you just can't move them without having them fall apart. But such is life. It's a small problem to be sure. And then look at these guys down here. Our cool little phantom car back here. I think that's so cool. That was such a nice touch. Love it when puzzle creators think about fun things like that. So yay. And I think I am just about ready to maybe start in on this part. So this is it looks like, there's the big parts. So I think this row is going to go like that. Oh, it's rough. I'm gonna come over this way and lean. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that took so long. Yes, that's right there. That's that. There. Definitely that's there. All right. I'm going to put that on pause for a little bit while I do a little bit more. Let's see. That's a good piece. Gets that one there. I wonder if, oh yeah, we got some ones over there. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pull another one out of the thing here. What am I up to? 15th, I think. We're going to call that one Christian Rasmussen. And I'm going to pull in another piece of the trophy. One that I was missing right there. And I'm also going to pull in a piece of the sign. This is Willpower. I love Willpower. There we go. In general, but also the race car driver. There we go. And nice. And let's keep putting some pieces together. Oops. All right. Let's see. Wonder if this is this piece. Nope. How close is that? Part of this. Oh, I've got this big green flag too. I've got to put together. Ugh. I feel like this is one of these. There we go. I feel like I'm missing more of the airplanes there. All right, I'm going to take this one. I feel like this is Pat O'Rourke. I think, oh, nope, I can't pull it in yet. I'm close. I'm very close because I think this is going to go right up above here, but I don't think I have enough pieces to count it as a total match yet. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And I do have that little piece right there. Let's try to do some more, maybe people down in here. Every little bit counts. I guess one of the things I should be doing is noting which direction the people go, because that makes a difference for sure. And that limits the number of places that they can go in here. So that's a win, I think. There we go. And again, the more you get out of the way, the fewer you have to worry about getting in the right spot. So that's a win. Oh, wow, that really goes all the way over there. Yikes. Okay. It's a lot more people than I thought there were. Okay, people. Is that one going to fit down in here? Let's see. That helps a lot, actually. I don't know if you can see that on the camera up there, but we just got a good piece in place there that's helping a bunch more to fall into place. It's gonna be that one. I actually thought the people were going to be a lot harder to do. So I'm pleasantly surprised by how quickly these are coming together. At least this part of it. And I'm sure that it will get harder again as we get back up into the bigger grand skin. But maybe not. This gives me hope for that part of the puzzle. It also means I'm probably going to want to pull. I got two pieces in here, so I'm going to pull this one first. This is Robert Schwartzman, who was our pole sitter, and I think I'm up to 16. Oops, nope, 17. And that one's going to be this one, and then 18 is Callum Ilott. I'm really sorry that I did not rehearse how to pronounce names, so apologies to people whose names I'm butchering, but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Another hat piece over here. That one's good. This is another piece of this sign. This is coming together. Here we go. I feel like that's that. There we go. We get some of that together. I like this because this is going to kind of dictate a little bit more of the what's what in terms of which direction, because I can't really get a good feel for which direction this is going to go here and whether this is up or down. I feel like it's got to be the people. This has got to be the lower level here, I think. In fact, I think nope. I feel like this. Yeah, I kind of feel like that was. Get the thing out for this one. Okay, so these are the upper decks here. Oh boy. That felt good. Okay. Let's see if I can't get these things finished up here. Feeling better about it. I've got to check in here in just a minute and see how we're doing time-wise on the race or how far along they are, because I feel like it's been a little bit since all of the various live streams got pulled away, but it's definitely their prerogative. I always think it's interesting when people are able to get the live streams going for as long as they're able to do that. So yay. There we go. There's probably, let's see. I might turn the puzzle here in a bit. We'll see if that ends up making sense or not. We're definitely making some progress. I'll get that one out. I'm getting it done here. surprised I don't have the, oh, you know what it is? I'm going to say, let's pull another one out here. What are we up to? 18. I think this is going to be 19. This one is Marcus Armstrong. And I think that was the text that I was missing there. So that'll help the rest of this to all fit into place. There's that piece. Does that let me get that together? Oh yeah. It's looking good. Yep, that's actually up there. This is probably this. Okay. I feel like this is maybe an airplane. Yep. And these are going up. All right, I may come around. All right, how far up is the blimp? Blimp is pretty far up. I'm going to push this back. Let's get this going here. All right, so I just took Joseph Newgarden, and so I think that's my 20th. Is that right? 19. I want to say 20. I also realize that I've taken away some and I don't have numbers on them. So this is probably not going to work. I'm also going to grab this one. We'll make that one 21. And that one is Devlin DeFrancisco. And that one is going to come down here. I was looking for that piece, so that feels good. right, so the flag is, grab that. Oh, at top of the pagoda. So it's blimpy McBlimp blimp here. Like, that's probably driven people crazy online. If you were watching along, just like having one little rando piece that's super obvious. But we got that one into place now, so whew. All right. It's, okay, great. And then no, it does not seem to be that one, but I think we're gonna do, what are we up to? 22. We're gonna call it 22. And that was, oops, who did I say? Marco Andretti. So congrats, Marco. I think this is you right here. Yep. And let's see if we can get this into place maybe now. Yeah, there we go. And then let's see, it's got the IMS thing here. This is the top of that. It's going to have this. It's going to have this. Okay, so this is a corner. This is very much part of that. Let's see, this is definitely this. Okay. Sometimes I get so caught up in the image of it, and then it kind of makes it harder, I think, sometimes. I don't know. Like if you just focus more on the kind of what you're seeing in the moment, it's easier. Oopsie. Oh, it's going to feel really good to kind of get everything connecting again here. Yeah. There you go. I don't think that actually goes there. Okay. Well, would not have called that one there, but okay. Just a little bit of green. Yep. Love this little bit of green. It's helping to connect a lot of things, so that's a win. Okay, we got up there. I think we got it. I think we're going to connect it. Is that it? Yep. That's good. Okay, and then I got this big open piece here. Looks like that's the part that goes over into, oh, that's gonna go right there. Okay, pagoda was definitely a little easier than I thought it might be. Just kind of dreading it. Maybe I shouldn't have. It was pretty decent, good straight lines to kind of connect on up in there. And now we've got almost connectable pieces. I mean, I think we're getting close to, we're in the zone for the actual puzzle coming together. Unless, let's see. Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. Get another piece here. See how far that is. So it looks like that comes out. It's going to actually come in a little bit lower here. Like this maybe. Let's see where this whole thing is. Maybe that's upper deck here. I'm gonna pull some of these back out and then see if we can't get this connected down in here. This actually might be, yep, looks like that's that piece. So pull that one out. Well, that makes it a whole lot easier, except I don't think that that's right because, I guess it could be. That's right up next to there. Yeah, okay, all right. It is right. We're getting there. Shut up on into view here. Ugh. All right. Actually, I think I might be able to get this done faster than they run the race this year, thanks to the cheating it did on the sorting and whatnot. Maybe if we factor that in, it's not quite as good. But yeah, they're only on lap 95 according to what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's accurate, but it seems to be live-ish. So yeah, maybe we're doing better than we thought we were doing. Grab a few more of these things over here. And get that. So yeah, they're just saying it's 95 laps complete. So it my ear pod died. So I'm hoping we don't get into too much trouble for just having that softly in the background so I can kind of hear what's going on. Because you kind of lose track of time while you're doing this. There we go. That little one that spaces it out right. This is definitely a place where I'm going to, oops, that's that one, be able to look at some shapes and see if we can get such a distinctive piece here. I'm kind of wondering why I'm not seeing it. Oh, I have a whole bunch more over here too. There is no shortage of these pieces. But yeah, I am feeling like it's going pretty well. So maybe didn't need to give myself a head start. This would be fun to do with other people too. So I'll have to think about that and maybe remember next year to get on it a little bit earlier and get some other people invited to come and join me in some puzzling fun. Yeah, I'm liking this puzzle. It seemed far more daunting than it is actually turning out to be. And I love that. I love that in a puzzle. I thought that this was just going to be absolutely a challenge. And I mean, obviously, it's still a little bit of a challenge for sure, but it is going much better than I had anticipated it going. Aha, that's that one. And see these people over here. That's those people. Getting up to the sky. So that will be a challenge, I am sure, but I'm a little bit more optimistic maybe that based on what I'm seeing here, it's not going to be as bad. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and take this one out of the mix. I don't know if I'm up to 23 or 24, whatever it is. It looks like 24 for Connor Daly, and I'm going to put that one into place there. And come on around and start working on some of these guys. All right. That is not bad. This is going pretty good. I think it's got enough like other pieces of things that, yeah, that's going pretty well, which is going to leave me, just the little bit that I've got to get done up in the sky there after I get I guess I have the flag over here and then the sky, but yeah, I think not so terribly horrible, which is good. Get this little guy over here, maybe. That's it, but I don't see any other airplanes, so weird. No, it's not that one. I wonder if I've got something wrong there and need to undo it. Hope that's not the case. I think maybe that is this one. No. Oh, I think that one's going to be, I don't know who I pulled that one from. So it's a mystery piece, maybe Colton Herta. Let's go ahead and say that one because I don't see, what am I up to, 25? I'm definitely off on my numbers because I don't have that many left. So I've double counted people. Not the best system. It is hard to kind of do two things at once. So we will chalk that up as a challenge on that front. This has a little bit of color down in it, so that's been great in terms of just being able to see a little bit of what I'm doing. And then let's get some hair there. And yeah, this must be like that. Yep. Okay. And oops. Oops, there is another airplane. So let's see. Yep, there we go. And that's that. Okay, that's pretty good. This is definitely easier by shape than color. Oh, that's over here. All right, that's another piece. It must be from here. That's got to be flag 2. This is great because it's eating up a lot of the little sky pieces that I thought were going to be harder to get, and maybe they won't be so bad because they're right here. Let's see. And over there. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I don't know why I didn't notice this earlier. I think that's, they call it 26. And this is Ryan Hunteray. Yep. And that's this one. All right. I think it's time for some balloons. I don't know why I was dreading this so much. I don't think these are, well, I don't want to jinx it. I'm going to say it's going to be easy. But it looks like it's going well so far. Although I need to grab those pieces. That's going to make it a little bit trickier, actually. Let's see if we can figure out maybe positioning of some of these things. This is more of the trail here. Let me grab that one. What are we up to? 27. I've got Graham Rahal. And I think that's that. Yep. And I don't think that's really not a match. That is not a match. doesn't really help to force things where they don't go, because then you just end up with things you got to move around later on. So there's that. Don't really feel like that fits there. It really doesn't. Maybe it does. It does. It was just upside down. All right. Good, good, good. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I feel like that's that. Okay, that was 45. What are we up to? 28. 28 again. 30, 31. I'm only 2 off, so we're not too terribly here or terribly off here. Okay. And let's see, what lap are we on? We're on lap 105. I think I've got this one. They could be famous last words, but I feel like this should be doable. Should be. We'll see if it is. I really wish that I was better at piecing some of these pieces. So balloons, I think, are going to be, I can't believe balloons are going to be harder than the sky. That just boggles my mind. Because usually it is the other way around, to be sure. But sky actually was pretty simple based on shape. So let's see if we can't get a little bit more. Get the blue stuff down here. There's more gray. It's just harder because there's just so much. This is going to be over here. Ooh. Feels like it's kind of distinctive. Oh. I'm going to grab my chair since we're just working in this corner now. And I'd say I'd turn it around, but I'm not gonna because this is closer and it's nice to actually sit for a second here. I am gonna grab, let's see, where am I up here? Okay. All right. I feel like this has got to be down here. Yep, with the little teensy weensy balloonies. And I feel like this is going to be along in here too. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's a little cloud action. Sometimes the pictures do help. And then, yep, there we go. Mine might be, yep, is that, oh wow, that feels really good. It's kind of getting to the point where oops. Oh, this one sucks. It's just a numbers game, though. At this point, it's just about trying everything everywhere and seeing what fits. We are on, there is no way that they're still on lap 109 of 200. I guess it could be. What were we on before? Oh. I think the last two balloon pieces must have been side by side there. That's kind of interesting. I wouldn't have thought that would be the case, but you just never know. You know, some people are really good at kind of looking at the overall pattern of a puzzle too and knowing kind of like where different pieces should go. I wish I could be that way. I am not that. We're getting there though. I keep hitting that one there. That feels like it fits, which means this one. There we go. I feel like the thing that made the stadium a little bit, or the stands a little bit easier, was just you could tell what was up and what was down, and that ended up being a big help. Whereas this, you don't really have that. It's just balloons, so they could go either any which way. But now that we're getting down to the final few pieces, of course, it gets a little bit easier. Oops, that's that one. Oh, I am missing some pieces, but this is where I'm going to check to see if I have dropped them on the floor, because that's entirely possible. In addition to the two that I'm missing, it looks like didn't I say that I was missing? Oh, nope, take it back. They're all right here. So I don't think it really matters which one I pick there, but we'll go like that. And dun, 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 ta-da! All right, so that took me 2 hours, 36 minutes, and we'll just call it 2 hours and 37 minutes, plus the sorting time that I have. But I think that that was a pretty good run for my first live stream. I'm sorry, it was probably watching paint dry, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm actually kind of shocked that I was able to do it faster than the car drivers today, although they've had a bit of a go with the situation with the track being a little bit cooler and the rain earlier on and the weird start. So we'll, we'll call it a good first running of the Indy 500 pieces. And maybe I'll do that again. If I can find another Indy 500 puzzle, maybe I'll do that again in the future and get some more people to help. So there's a little bit more chatter. But I had a lot of fun. Thank you if you did pop on to watch, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. And yeah, thanks for joining me for the inaugural running of the Indy 500 pieces. Have a good one.